poor badger sliding into that Titanic collab.
There are some animals out there in our world that have some amazing abilities. Abilities which not all animals have, not by a long shot. These animals have adapted by gaining the incredibly lucky skill of camouflage, and some, the talent of mimicry. The animals you will see here live lives where they blend in with their surroundings, and at times take on the appearance of other animals or objects entirely. Join me as I take you through animals with the most incredible camouflage. Number 10. Fantastic leaf-tailed gecko. These things really look like leaves, as you can see in this picture. Meet the fantastic leaf-tailed gecko, the eyelash leaf-tailed gecko, or the satanic leaf-tailed gecko, a Madagascan gecko that was first described by George Albert Bollinger in 1888. They are entirely endemic to Madagascar and dwell in the tropical forests of the north and central parts of the country. They grow to be anywhere between 2.6 and 6 inches in length, which includes the tail, which is flattened and looks like a leaf. The entire thing looks like one big gecko-shaped leaf, as seen in this picture. These creatures have been spotted sporting many different colors, including orange, yellow, purple, pictured here, yellow and brown, and they also have tiny black dots on their undersides, which helps distinguish them from other similar species. They face deforestation and habitat destruction, as well as being collected for the pet trade, and the animal you see in this picture is on the top 10 most wanted species list, threatened by the trade of illegal wildlife. Number 9. Pygmy Seahorse. These tiny little horsies of the ocean actually comprise a few different species of seahorse found in the family Cynathidae, which are pipefish and seahorses. This family is one part of the order Cynathiformes, which make up various fish that have fused jaws and use their tubular mouths to suck in food. The first species ever discovered, the Hippocampus bargibante, matches its living environment, exclusively fan corals, and blends its appearance and color to disappear into their surroundings. They are only 0.55 to 1.06 inches long from the end of the snout down to the tail tip, and have distinctive short snubbed noses that give them the appearance of a baby animal. They're pretty cute things, when you can find them. Number 8. Leafy Sea Dragon. This marine fish is also part of the family Cynathidae, like the pygmy seahorse. It can be found along the western and southern coasts of Australia, and its name is pulled directly from its appearance, and it has long leafy protrusions all over its body. The protrusions are strictly for camouflage and don't help propulsion in any way. They have a small dorsal fin on its back and a pectoral fin on the ridge of its neck. Both fins are nearly completely transparent, and they move very minutely, moving the leafy sea dragon very sedately through the water, completing the overall illusion of a floating piece of seaweed. They are popularly called leafies, and are the focus for local marine conservation in Australia, and are even the marine emblem of South Australia. These little leaf creatures grow to be 8 to 9.5 inches and eat small crustaceans and plankton. They can also change their colors to blend in, but that depends on a variety of factors, including their location, age, diet, and stress level. They're among some of the best camouflagers, and you can see why. Number 7. Hymenopus coronatus. These neat, creepy little buggers are found in Southeast Asia in the rainforest and go by several names, including orchid mantis, typically pink, and walking flower mantis. It's one of just a few species known, and a flower mantis due to its behavior and from the apparent resemblance. The species is very well known by its structure adaptation to mimic the parts of an orchid, which aids significantly in camouflage. They are colored brilliantly, and their legs resemble petals of the flower. Males of the species can be tiny, less than half the size of females, which is pretty pronounced sexual dimorphism for mantis. It can change its color like a chameleon between pink and brown, depending on the color of their background. Pretty cool, huh? Number 6. Great Gray Owl. This ginormous owl is, by length, counted as the world's largest species of owl and ranges from 24 to 33 inches in height, and they have a wingspan that can grow to be longer than 5 feet. They are pretty big, but that doesn't mean that they aren't very good at blending in with their surroundings. While you might think that being big would be a total disadvantage, their ability to camouflage in the northern hemisphere in which they typically live is incredible, and they can be pretty darn hard to see. These large birds have excellent hearing, and that's helped by their ruffs, which are basically giant facial discs that help pinpoint prey in the late night and early morning dark hours in which they hunt. They can find and capture prey that is moving below around 2 feet of snow in tunnels, and can crash through the snow to get that prey up to a depth of around their own body size. Snow plunging is what this is called, and the habit is thought to require excellent hearing. Hearing not possessed by all owls. Number 5. Egyptian Nightjar. This bird is a nightjar, classified as a medium small that is found in northern Africa and western Asia, and in tropical Africa in the winters. There's an old myth that nightjars will suck milk from goats, which is how the bird's scientific name was decided upon. Caprimulgus Aegyptius, with Caprimulgus coming from Capra in Latin, which means nanny goat, and mulgere, which means to milk. Nightjar was first coined in 1630, and it refers to the nocturnal habits of the creature and the jar coming from their churring song, which is highly distinctive. During the day, the bird lies upon the ground in silence, as you can see in this picture, and is extremely difficult to detect due to its coloration and blends right in with the surrounding soil. It eats things such as moths and other crepuscular insects. If I saw a bird sucking milk from a goat, I don't know what I'd do. Number 4. Cuttlefish. These really interesting looking marine animals are sometimes also called cuttles, a name which I far prefer, so I will hence refer to them as such. They are in the class Cephalopoda, a class that includes nautiluses, octopus, and squid. Did you know that cuttlefish aren't even what their name suggests they are? Cuttles aren't fish at all, but mollusks. They have 8 arms, 2 tentacles that have denticulated suckers, which they use to grasp their prey. Speaking of prey, they eat all sorts of little mollusks, fish, shrimp, worms, octopus, and at times, other cuttles. They are at times called the chameleons of the sea because of the way they can rapidly change their skin color within as little as a second. Cuttles can change their pattern and color and can even polarize reflected light waves, which communicates to other cuttles to get camouflaged, and quick! The cuttles themselves can't see color, but they have some mechanism in them that is able to assess and adapt to their surroundings, even in total darkness. Number 3. Tawny Frogmouth. This cute little bird is found in Tasmania and all over on the Australian mainland, and is a species of frogmouth that is native to the area. These birds are stocky little creatures with big heads and are pretty commonly mistaken for owls because of their relatively similar coloration and the same nocturnal habits. The southern bubuk have the common name mopoke, and at times, people will call the tawny frogmouth mopoke, and their calls are similar, so it's a pretty easy mistake to make. This bird was first described by John Latham, an English naturalist in 1801. The tawny frogmouth's coloration typically consists of gray, chestnut, silver, black, white, and brown, with 3 different color morphs occurring in the birds. These color morphs aid them in blending in with tree branches during the day, where they freeze into tree branch form and become all but invisible, as you can see or maybe not even see in this picture. It is one of the best examples of mimicry and cryptic plumage in birds that Australia has to offer. So cool, huh? Number 2. Chameleon. You already knew that this one was gonna make the list, right? I mean, chameleons are synonymous with camouflage and changing their color to blend in with their surroundings. As of June 2015, there were 202 species of chameleons described, and these lizards are classified as a highly specialized and distinctive clade of Old World lizards. They have zygodactylous feet, which resembles little Pac-Man, and extrudable tongues. Their Jack Sparrow-like swaying gait, like the horns or crests on their snout and brow, and their crazy, independently mobile eyes. They typically live in warmer habitats, which include desert and rainforest conditions, in places like Madagascar, Southern Europe, Southern Asia, and Africa. A lot of species can change their coloration and pattern any number of colors, almost more colors than I could name here without this video running over. They have a superficial layer within their skin that contains pigments, and underneath that layer are cells with guanine crystals. These creatures change their color by changing the spaces in between those crystals, which changes the wavelength of the light that reflects off the crystals, and that changes the color of their skin. Talk about camouflage. Number 1. Indonesian Mimic Octopus. This awesome looking creature is an octopus, more specifically an Indo-Pacific species that is extremely good at impersonating other local species. They are amazing at changing their texture and skin color to blend in with any type of surroundings, and they can take the shape of various animals and different objects. They are the only species that can imitate a vast range of different forms to avoid and elude predators, and they are pretty small, around 2 feet, and are about as wide as a pencil at the animal's widest point. The natural color of the octopus is a beige or brown color, but it is most commonly seen displaying a white and brown display of stripes to ward off predators by acting like a vicious, poisonous terrestrial sea creature. Its primary defense besides camouflage is its ability to mimic other species, as seen in this picture, and it commonly takes on the appearance of sea snakes, jellyfish, lionfish, flatfish as you can see in this picture, flounder, sea sponges, tube-like worms, tube worm tubes, and many more. This is like the ultimate form of camouflage when you pair the mimicry with the octopus's ability to change colors to blend in with pretty much anything.
Thanks for watching the video. Spend some time over on my channel, Bored Badger, for videos just like this. I know you want to, and I'll see you guys there.